by elephant or be a sniper from the tigers know this area backwards. No, the Tamils are on the run. I don't think the LTTE are defeated. I doubt whether they will be ever. And that General Fonseca, the insane general that he is, in one of his saner moments said that this war can last the next 10 or 20 years. It won't, because the Sri Lankan government will go bankrupt. The Sinhala people are actually in a worse state than the Tamils are, because they are facing a fascist dictatorship and poverty, which is escalating poverty. They are starving. So we've got to sell this idea to the Tamils, the Sinhalese, that division of the country or meeting the just demands of the Tamil people is going to benefit both parts of the country. And if we can do that, I think we survive. Otherwise, we are looking at a failed state. I mean, economically bankrupt, failed state with continuing war. And the war will increase. Not only will there be war in the north with the Tamil Tigers or their successors fighting the Sinhala regime, but there will be war in the south with the impoverished fight the haves being fought by the have-nots. And there will be total chaos, I can tell you that. And people are simply not going to be able to survive food-wise, economic-wise, or in any other wise. And we will just add another Darfur or whatever, or Zimbabwe or whatever to the list. And there was another question, I thought.
Yes, I guess we'll skip that question and we'll take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to focus more on what's happening here in Canada and what you think of that, and how can a lot more people get involved. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll talk more. In the Sinhala government or in the south, that might be leaning towards the Tamils, or might be able to see or take your view on matters.
There's only one party, and that's the one to which I belong, which is the Navalanka LSSP, NLSSP, led by Dr. Vikramabahu Karunaratne, one of the most decent human beings I have met, and the man awaiting assassination next. He'll be buried fairly quickly, and I told him that too. And he is a brave chap. Siritunga Jayasuriya, another, also from the left. Apart from that, and they are tiny parties now, the entire political spectrum that's likely to form government are all anti-Tamil. And I wrote a paper on this. Actually, it's on Tamil Canadian website. If you go into that and type my name, you get some 54 odd papers. One is that entire Sinhala polity is anti-Tamil. People don't know that when English was changed into Sinhala only, they blame my uncle S.W.R.D. Vandanaka, for sure he required blame. But it was supported by the United National Party. So here is one major Sinhala party fighting the other party, but both united in anti-Tamil discrimination. The entire spectrum of the Sinhala South, or the political spectrum, except that the extreme left, are virulently anti-Tamil. And it's only a question of degree of virulence, from the extreme virulence of the Buddhist monks. And my mother was a Buddhist, and I can't remember any stanza in the Buddhist literature that says that you can be in parliament. They are not supposed to get out on the streets except with a begging bowl and not look at people's breasts, etc. They are supposed to be looking at the ground. That's not where they are looking. Now they walk not with their begging bowl, they go in Mercedes-Benzes into parliament. Those fellows are the most rabid of the lot. The next rabid are the fellows who wear a red cap and a hammer and sickle. That irritates me more than anything else. The Vimal Veeravansa bunch, whom at one stage I supported in the 71 uprising, because I thought that they were taking up the cause of the oppressed Sinhala people. They are the biggest racists and hypocrites that I have met. Then the UNP, another bunch of hypocrites. They sign a peace pact, and what does Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe do? Jump in the plane and go and put his arm round Bush to ask for money. Here he has just signed a pact with the LTTE, peace pact, and he goes to New York, throws his arm round Bush. How do I know? I got a photograph of him with his arm round Bush. Not that this joker fortunately can't throw any arms around anybody. He's not that type. And of course the SLFP under this character is a murderous regime, full stop. So that it's a very important question actually, because a negotiated settlement with a Sinhala regime is not a possibility. We got to explain that to the non-Sri Lankan. Exactly. Yes. People are asking for a negotiated settlement. Negotiate with whom? With this bunch of anti-Tamil racists? I mean, they can negotiate if they like with Karuna and Pillian, but you can't negotiate with people in the same party, and Karuna has now joined the SLFP. So SLFP will be negotiating with the SLFP. For what purpose is that? No, I think the whole thing is all shambles. This is all bluff. You can't. There is no Sinhala party except the extreme left, and if we can foster them, which is what I'm trying to do, and appeal to the Sinhala poor, that all these people are taking them for a joyride, that they can crush the LTTE, and once that is done, there will be milk and honey flowing in the south. It won't be. For a start, they are confusing the LTTE with the Tamil struggle. The LTTE is the military arm of the Tamil struggle for justice. And crushing the military arm, even if that is possible, which it is not going to crush the Tamil struggle. The best example of which was here in Canada, when I addressed some 75 or 100,000 people. You're going to crush them? Mr. Rajapaksa won't be able to crush them. And I addressed Toronto students today. The enthusiasm shown there, you can't crush that. So I think that a negotiated solution, we got to point out to the people who are asking for a negotiated solution that you can't negotiate with die-hard anti-Tamil racists.
Now, we have quite a few callers, and I'm sorry, I'm only going to be able to take one more call, and we have to have a little more discussion with Dr. Seneviratne before he leaves. So, Sivasakti, you're on air.
Hello.
Hello.
Dr. Brian Seneviratne and Mr. Raghavan. I would like to say we have some two Indian engineers were wounded, and some soldiers they're still there, no? And what role does India like to take this in genocide?
Thank you for that call. I'm also going to try and put that into perspective with what I'm going to ask as well. Now, lately there's been a lot of protests happening here. I'm sure you've seen some in Australia as well. You might have been part of many as well. What people are actually looking for now is some sort of an idea as to where do we go from here? Do we continue the protest?